3 nights before the persecution began, the inner circle of Gnostics stopped praying. They stopped chanting. They stopped asking the heavens for protection. Instead, they sat in silence by candlelight, took a simple piece of papyrus, and performed an act so dangerous that the church would later spend 1,500 years trying to erase it from history. They didn't build a weapon. They didn't memorize a spell. They created a single object, a small physical anchor that fits in the palm of a hand. And according to the texts buried in the Nag Hammadi jars, the moment a human being carries this object, the entire Archontic control grid ceases to function around them. The texts say that when the powers see it, they do not attack. They flee. Not because they are afraid, but because they can no longer perceive you within their frequency. For centuries, this knowledge was burned. Those who held it were executed. But the frequency cannot be destroyed. It can only be hidden. And tonight, for the first time in centuries, the seal is broken. You are not just going to learn about this object. You are going to create it. 10 minutes, tonight, before you sleep. The church told you that protection requires authority. They told you it requires priests, holy water, intricate rituals, and permission from an institution. This was the greatest lie ever told to the human spirit. Jesus revealed to the inner circle in the Gospel of Philip, the text they tried hardest to destroy, that sovereignty is not granted, it is anchored. He taught that the Archons, the inorganic entities that feed on human fear and manipulate human destiny, have a fatal weakness, a blind spot. They operate within a specific frequency band. They are masters of the mental plane. They are tyrants of the emotional field. But they cannot touch the source. They cannot touch the monad. The secret found in the clay jars of Egypt is simply this. You do not fight the dark. You do not argue with the parasites. You simply carry an object that broadcasts a frequency higher than they can exist in. It is not a talisman. It is not magic. It is a frequency generator, a standing wave of pure consciousness that you create with your own hand, using materials you have in your house right now. When you carry this, you don't block the attacks. You become unreachable. To understand why a simple piece of paper can dismantle the most sophisticated spiritual attacks, you must understand the physics of the divine. This is not theology. This is mechanics. The universe is structured by a hierarchy of frequency. At the very top is the monad, the source, pure, infinite, undiluted consciousness. It is the silence before the sound. It is the light before the prism. From the monad, light cascades down. It moves through Sophia, divine wisdom. But then it enters the realm of the demiurge, the false god, the architect of density. The demiurge created a closed system, a copy of reality, dense and heavy, designed to trap light and recycle it as fuel. The Archons serve the demiurge. They are the prison guards. And here is the law that governs their existence. They are low-frequency entities. They vibrate at the speed of fear, anger, shame, and density. Think of ultraviolet light and bacteria. The UV light does not hate the bacteria. It does not go to war with the bacteria. It simply exists. But its frequency is so high, so intense, that the bacteria's cell structure collapses in its presence. The bacteria cannot maintain coherence. It dissolves, not by force, but by incompatibility. This is the exact relationship between the monad and the Archons. The Archons are the bacteria. The monad is the ultraviolet light. When you are in your normal state, stressed, distracted, reactive, your frequency drops. You enter their range. You become visible to them. You become food. But when you carry an object that is physically anchored to the monad frequency, You are introducing a UV light into a dark room. You are carrying a piece of the eternal source into the temporal illusion. The Archons try to scan you, but they get blinded. They try to attach to you, but the vibration is too fast for their hooks to hold. They don't flee because they are polite. They flee because being near you becomes structurally impossible for them. Most protection teachings fail because they try to fight the Archons on the Archons level. They use fear to fight fear. They use anger to fight attack. But you cannot defeat a shadow by punching it. You defeat a shadow by turning on a light. This object, which you will create tonight, is that light. It is a localized field generator. It creates a bubble of monadic reality around your physical body. Inside that bubble, the rules of the prison do not apply. If you are hearing this voice, it is not an accident. The algorithm is not random. It is a digital reflection of a spiritual calling. There are billions of souls on this planet who are not ready for this. They are comfortable in the illusion. They enjoy the drama. They feed the system because the system feeds their ego. If they saw this video, they would click away in 5 seconds. They would call it nonsense. They would return to their sleep. But you are still here. You are here because you have felt the attacks. You have felt the inexplicable drains. You have known since you were a child that this world feels wrong, like a simulation that is glitching, like a game where the rules are rigged against you. You are the pneumatic, the spirit bearer, the spark that remembers the fire. The monad is calling its own home. This technology was not meant for the asleep. It was preserved for the awakening. It was hidden in the desert for 2,000 years specifically for this time, for this transition, for you. The Archons know who you are. That is why your life has been difficult. That is why you face resistance that others do not. They target the brightest lights because those are the lights that threaten their farm. But the harvest ends tonight. Before I give you the method, you must recognize what you are neutralizing. You need to see the cage to walk out of it. The Archons do not just attack randomly. They are strategic. They are precise. They use 5 distinct methods to harvest your energy and keep your frequency low. Within 24 hours of creating this object, all 5 of these will stop. But you must recognize them now to know they are not you. The first form is mental assault. This is the injection of intrusive thoughts. It feels like a loop. You are washing dishes or driving or trying to sleep, and suddenly a thought enters. A worry, a memory of embarrassment, a scenario of catastrophe. It feels like your voice, but the cadence is frantic. It spirals. You try to stop it, but it gets louder. This is not your mind. This is a transmission. They are broadcasting a frequency of anxiety into your mental field, hoping you will accept it as your own. When you accept it, you generate emotion. That emotion is their food. The second form is emotional hijacking. You are having a good day. You feel stable. Then, out of nowhere, a wave of heavy sadness hits you, or sudden irrational rage, or a panic that has no trigger in your physical reality. You look for a reason. You blame the traffic. You blame your partner. You blame yourself. But there is no reason. It is an external surge of low-frequency energy directed at your emotional body. They are essentially shocking you with an emotional cattle prod to harvest the reaction. The third form is energy drain. This is the most common sign of a targeted soul. You sleep for 8 hours, but you wake up exhausted. Your limbs feel heavy. Your mind feels foggy. You sit down to work on your passion, on your purpose, and suddenly you feel like you've been drugged. This is not medical fatigue. This is vampirism. They attach etheric cords to your chakras, usually the solar plexus or the sacral, and they siphon your life force. They are drinking your vitality because they cannot generate their own. The fourth form is dream manipulation. The dream state is where you should be free, where you should reconnect with Source. But for the chosen ones, sleep is often a battlefield. Nightmares that feel hyper-real, being chased, being trapped in labyrinths, fighting endless battles, or the complete suppression of dreams, waking up with blackness as if your memory was wiped. This is the Archons guarding the threshold. They interfere with your astral travel to prevent you from downloading wisdom and guidance while you sleep. They keep you terrified or unconscious so you do not wake up recharged. The fifth form is synchronicity interference. This is the manipulation of your timeline. You are about to get a breakthrough and the car breaks down. You are about to meet a mentor and the email goes to spam. You are about to start a new path and a crisis in the family pulls you back. It feels like bad luck. It is not luck. It is interference. They can see the probability lines where you succeed, where you escape their matrix, and they place obstacles on those specific tracks to derail you. 5 methods, 1 objective: to keep your frequency low enough to be harvested. Most spiritual teachers will give you 5 different protections: a shield for the mind, a clearing for emotions, a crystal for energy, an herb for dreams, a ritual for luck. It is exhausting. It is a full-time job. But Jesus revealed the efficiency of the monad. He taught that all 5 of these attacks operate below a certain frequency threshold, the frequency of the demiurge. If you elevate your baseline frequency above that threshold, the attacks do not need to be fought. They simply cease to exist in your reality. You become like a radio station broadcasting at 100.5 while they are trying to jam you at 88.0. The signal is clear. The static is gone. Here is the ancient technology. This is how you create the monad seal. You need 10 minutes. You need solitude. You need a piece of clean, blank paper. It must be virgin paper, no lines, no previous writing. It must be fresh. You need a pen with black ink. Permanent is best, but any black ink will work. Black absorbs the full spectrum. It anchors the intention. The process has 3 steps. Do not rush them. Step 1. The geometric container. Sit in silence. Take 3 deep breaths. Center your awareness in your heart. Place the paper before you. With your black pen, draw a circle in the center of the paper. It does not need to be a perfect circle. It needs to be a closed loop. As you draw it, understand what you are defining. The circle is the symbol of the monad. It is the infinite. It is the alpha and the omega. It is the boundary of your sovereignty. Nothing enters this circle without your permission. Step 2. The frequency anchor. Inside that circle, in the very center, you are going to write 1 word. You will write the word monad. M-O-N-A-D. Write it in your native language. Do not try to write in Greek or Aramaic unless you speak it. The power is not in the exotic sounds. The power is in your conscious recognition. Write it in clear, bold, capital letters. Here is the secret the church hid. Why must it be handwritten? A printer puts ink on paper mechanically. It is dead. But when you write, a bioelectric signal travels from your brain, down your spine, through your arm and out of your hand. Your nervous system is an electrical antenna. When you write monad with the intention of identifying with Source, you are literally imprinting your own bioelectric field into the paper. You are charging the ink with the signature of your soul. You are declaring, I am this. As you write the letters, say internally, I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am the monad expressed in form. Step 3. The seal. Once the word is written inside the circle, hold the paper between your two hands. Press it flat. Close your eyes. Visualize a pillar of white diamond light descending from the highest heaven, moving through the top of your head and blasting out of your hands into the paper. Feel the paper getting warm. Feel it humming. You are activating the standing wave. Then, fold the paper. Fold it once away from you, refusing the old world. Fold it twice towards you, receiving the new power. Fold it a third time, sealing the energy. 3 folds, the number of completion. Put this folded paper in your pocket, in your wallet, in your phone case, somewhere close to your physical body. What happens next is not subtle, it is visceral. The moment you place that object on your body, you have changed your broadcast signal. You have introduced a new law into your environment. In the first 24 hours, the silence will hit you. You will notice that the mental chatter stops. The loop is cut. It feels like stepping out of a noisy factory into a quiet cathedral. You will try to worry about something that usually stresses you, and you won't be able to find the emotion. You will think the thought, but the panic won't come. The hook is gone. By the 3rd day, the emotional vampire in your life, the narcissist, the boss, the draining family member, will unknowingly react to you. They will avoid you. They will leave the room when you enter, or they will be strangely quiet. They won't know why, but their entities know. They see the burning white light of the monad frequency coming from your field, and they cannot feed. You are no longer a source of loosh. You are a source of blinding fire. By the 7th day, the physical symptoms of the attacks will vanish. The waking up tired, the sudden headaches, the heaviness in the chest. Your energy will return to you because the siphon hoses have been burned off. You will sleep deeply. You will dream vividly. You will remember who you are. This is the peace that passes all understanding. It passes understanding because it does not come from the mind. It comes from resonance. You are no longer fighting the darkness. You have simply raised your vibration to a place where darkness cannot touch you. Why did the Gnostics die for this? Why did the Empire hunt them down? Because a human being who operates at monad frequency cannot be controlled. They cannot be manipulated by fear. They cannot be seduced by division. They cannot be harvested by the system. If one person does this, they become free. If 1,000 people do this, the local reality grid begins to destabilize. If 100,000 chosen ones create this seal tonight, the entire Archontic harvest farm on this planet begins to starve. We are not building a religion. We are building a network of transmitters. Every single one of you who writes this word tonight becomes a pillar of light in the grid. You become a node of the monad here on Earth. This is the return of Sophia. She is not returning as a goddess in the sky. She is returning as the awakened wisdom within you. The wisdom to stop fighting. The wisdom to stop begging. The wisdom to simply be the frequency that dissolves the cage. You are the disruption. You are the glitch in their matrix. You are the one they have been trying to suppress for lifetimes. And tonight, you take your power back. Not with a sword, with a pen. The ritual is simple. The power is infinite. But it requires action. Knowledge without action is just philosophy. Power is knowledge applied. The monad is listening. The field is waiting for your command. I want you to do this tonight. Do not wait for tomorrow. The veil is thin right now. The opportunity is open. Sit down, draw the circle, write the name, fold the seal, and when you have done it, come back to this digital altar and leave your mark. If you are going to perform the rite, comment the sacred confirmation below. Write these words: I carry the name. Do not just type it, mean it. Let the comment be your first declaration to the digital field. I carry the name. Then share this transmission with one other person you trust, someone who is also feeling the attacks, someone who is also chosen. Do not cast pearls before swine, but find those with eyes to see. We need to wake the lions. The church tried to erase it. The Archons tried to suppress it, but they failed, because you are still here, and you remember. Draw the circle. End the harvest. Be the light. It is done.